Hey, so today I want to talk about pesticides. Specifically, I want to talk about glyphosate. Do you guys know about glyphosate? Well, some articles have been floating around, articles, studies, lawsuits involving this chemical weed killer and pesticide. Now, first off, I'd like to say that it being found here and there, you would think wouldn't really be that big of a deal. The problem with glyphosate is it's at the start of all of our products. So it begins and now ends with glyphosate. Glyphosate's now being found in so many products, and it's not just one thing we're exposing ourselves to daily, it's happening multiple times a day. This product is now accumulating in our bodies from constant exposure. When a pesticide is used for the growing or spraying of foods such as wheat, corn, soy, cotton, it finds its way into basically everything. We are ingesting it in our foods, from conventional products to organic products. Studies are being done where it's showing up in even products like Bob's Red Mill oats, other oat products, lots of cereals. It's being found in our orange juice. Different independent tests are being done from the EWG, Moms of America. Glyphosate is in genetically modified foods, so it's also being injected into our bodies through vaccinations, because a lot of ingredients in vaccines are genetically modified ingredients. We are wearing a cotton product, so it's in our clothes. Cotton is 95% genetically modified cotton, so most of our cotton products that we're using are going to be containing glyphosate. So all of the clothes we're wearing are probably going to contain glyphosate. It's as a female, we're putting it into our bodies with feminine hygiene cotton products. As a mother, I'm putting it onto my baby with disposable diapers and cotton clothing for her. Just environmental exposure, constantly going to parks, being at schools. It's basically finding itself everywhere. Studies are being done showing more environmental exposure, not just for humans, but it's affecting things like the bees. We can be more kind to the bees, because they're doing studies where it's showing neurological problems with the bees, where bees are no longer being able to find their way back to their hives after being exposed to glyphosate. It's affecting bees' gut microbiome and gut bacteria. You've probably seen bigger lawsuits, which are now shining even more light on this as a problem because of the different lawsuits against the company called Monsanto for their product Roundup, which contains the glyphosate, and that is it's causing people's terminal cancer. They're proving it, and people are being awarded it. The first was a groundskeeper who was awarded originally $289 million for proving that it caused his non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. They did appeal, Monsanto did appeal this, and he did end up settling for $78 million because he wanted to see the award in his lifetime, which totally sucks. There was, back in March, a second man awarded $80 million for proving it caused his cancer. Now another couple's being awarded $2 billion in California for proving it caused their cancer. It's just, the list is going to keep going on and on. I believe there's 13,000 more people or in cases pending of people that are in pursuit of suing Monsanto. It's just kind of getting a little bit crazy. Even with all this going on, the EWG did double the allowable amounts. Crops, for example, like soy, from 20 parts per million to 40 parts per million. So they're even raising their allowable amounts. I feel like there should be no allowable amount. Glyphosate is not good. Personally, I try to shop at farmers markets. I try to get to know my farmer. I want to seek out pesticide-free foods. Organic's not always enough for me, because even organic and non-GMO foods are being found to contain glyphosate, because even if a food is non-genetically modified like wheat and oats, they're being found to have high pesticide residues. Not really my thing. So I do like to get to know my farmer. I want to know what their practices are, which hopefully can be better than organic. I prefer pesticide free. I have now started trying to grow my own foods, as far as kale is now ranking one of the highest sprayed foods. I do love a lot of kale. Now I grow all my own Lacento kale. I grow my own curly kale. It's really easy to do. Certain times of the year there's a lot of effing bugs, pain in the butt, but my health is more important to me. I'll take the time. But when I am shopping at a local health food store, I do shop at my local health food Mother's Market. I'm very, very diligent about the products that I'm buying there when it comes to processed foods. I don't just judge the front label. I don't just look for organic. I don't look at all natural. I don't really care about all that stuff. I always am flipping the box over. I'm reading the ingredients, making sure there's not a lot of additives, stuff like that. But when I was browsing the cereal aisle for my toddler, then I first found this company. I saw a new label and a new certification that I hadn't seen before, and it was called BioChecked Non-Glyphosate Certified. This sparked my curiosity because of all the things going on with glyphosate, so I decided to buy that product, go home, and do my own research. I do like to do my own research, and I do like to inquire with different companies. I like to email them personally and ask them specific questions about their ingredients. If I do have any questions, for example, when I buy almond milks or something like that, when it says filtered water, I do like to inquire, what type of filtered water are they using? Is it RO? When it comes to the almonds, I'm wondering, are they raw almonds? Are they sprouted almonds? All those things kind of matter, especially if it's something that, myself or my child are going to be ingesting into our bodies daily. It really matters because things are all about accumulation in our bodies. I try to be really diligent. But I did check this BioChecked glyphosate certification, and it was actually really interesting. Apparently they have a pretty strict guideline on it having to be basically no glyphosate residue in their products or ingredients that are tested. It has to be below 0.01 parts per million, which is like practically nothing. But with this company, with the cereal, there were so many ingredients, and I was wondering what percentage of ingredients, that entailed. It was nice. I was wondering, if they can qualify for the certification and only have so many of their ingredients tested, what percentage, which exact ingredients, if that was the case, was tested. You can look at my full email that I sent in my link below and their response. But I was really, really impressed with their response. I think I emailed them at like 12 o'clock one day, and they emailed me by like 4 p.m. the same day. That was probably one of the quickest responses that I've had from a company. By the way, I am not affiliated with this company at all. I may send this video to them because I'm just like stoked about it, and I hope everybody is happy with them as I am. But they were it was impressive. I emailed them, they emailed me back, they let me know that their product is tested as the whole final product, so it's not just specific ingredients. The final product as a whole is tested to be non-glyphosate certified. That's really impressive. I did question their vitamin E. They let me know that it is non-GMO soy, because I know it's always vegetable oil sourced. Usually it's going to come from a genetically modified source. They did let me know it's not genetically modified. It uses only plant-based ways of extracting this oil. So, it was they pretty much hit all the nails on the head for a processed food. That was pretty impressive. By the way, that company is 1 Degree Organics. It was really good. They, not all of their products are BioChecked glyphosate, non-glyphosate, but I know some are, and that's all that matters. A few do count. I don't buy all of their products, but I do buy the few that I agree with and that are awesome. So that's pretty cool. So there's also another company that is doing it by the Detox Project after I had done the research on the last one. Apparently there's another company that's doing it as well. There's a few other companies following suit to get the certification for the non-glyphosate. So it is something to look for if you're buying stuff at the grocery store. That's at least a start. Anyway, so I guess this shouldn't really come to a surprise to us that we're having to deal with exposure to chemicals like glyphosate. Trust me, it does not just stop with glyphosate. We are exposed to chemicals constantly that are not good for our bodies, but it's all about moderation and trying to be aware of what we're consuming and what we're putting on in and around our bodies. As far as like the pesticide thing goes, I'm not surprised. We've seen this happen several times throughout history where our governments have basically not done long-term studies on things and the effects to our health before just mass usage of it, like the example of blasting us with DDT for the prevention of mosquitoes, or, you know, blasting all of our Vietnam veterans with Agent Orange, because that was a good idea for them. Now all of our veterans are dealing with all the health issues of that. Once again, we're just the guinea pigs. So it's up to us to determine what's like, and try to navigate from there. And I'm sure after all this uproar of the stuff about glyphosate and surrounding this being a big problem, there's just going to be another toxic chemical that's released that's going to take its place that we're just going to have to worry about as well. And it may even be worse. But until then, bye.